Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Gábor Mélypataki from University of Miskolc from Hungary. I work at the Institute of Private Law, and my main research field is labor law. And I bring one topic of my research area, digitalization of work in the mirror of labor law principles in Hungary. But I think this question is characteristic not just in Hungary but other countries as well. Our start point, the character of the labor relations. This is a complex relationship, and one of the most important element is the hierarchy. Employer has more power, and the Labor Law Act can help to employee make less differences between employer and employee, and it's very important. But we can speak about the dependency, and it has a very important role between employer and employee. We can speak about personally and economical dependency as well. If we speak about the work, we can speak as dependent work in this time. And other things, the character of labor law, private law elements and public law elements are mixed in this field, and we have to use these mixed rules solve the problem in the framework of labor relations. The world are changing, and the work changed as well, and we have to speak about the labor digitalization, and the work have been digitalizing for a long time. We can speak about new forms and platforms. We use applications, for example, Uber or Deliveroo and other one, and we can speak about platform workers, pro work. It was very popular teleworking and home office in the last time, but we can speak about robotization and AI. There are many other ways of digitalization, and we cannot analyze every form in this presentation, and but we can speak about the principles are same, and it's independent of the way of digitalization in the labor law. The main question is, the new forms, it mean new rules as well. Yes, we need rethink the role of the labor law, and we need rethink the role of the employer and the employee as well. We need new rules, but what will be the basis? It is a good question. We should build on traditional roots in these new forms. Because the core of the question about the new forms and work based on the classical principles. The questions are every time is same. Who is the employee? Who is the employer? What's the quality of relationship between employee and employer? We need stable and neutral rules, and we can find these rules if we search or if we search between the principles, and we have to use the principles of labor law. Main questions connected to these principles. For example, one of them, we have to rethink the mottos of the 20th century's labor law and the role of the solidarity, because the work as the basis of the society is remaining important in the future, but the freedom of choice relating to and solidarity are just as important. and even if we accept the digitalization and artificial intelligence will create more workplaces is longer term disappearing ones, new solutions are also necessary. Okay, it's clear, but what is the way? Which way have to keep or follow? And the other one, how much can we plan in advance? How far can law go? Because the law thinking is thinking linear, but the technical development is more times periodic and cyclic. And yes, how can we find the best solution to the problems if one system can thinking just linear and other system can thinking periodical and cyclic? And I think we have to use the principles because the principles give stability in these platforms and in these new forms. If we speak about the principles of labor law, we can find and we can make a difference between under more categories: interpretation principles, general behavior requirements, the protection of personal rights, general principles of data handling, and principle of equal treatment. Yes, these are very important categories, and we can find lots of principles in these categories, but I haven't enough time that I can show every, and I will highlight one of them. This principle is the obligation of cooperation and information. If we imagine labor relation, we can speak about the role of employer and employee. Yes, I said we can imagine a hierarchy between employer and employee, but the labor law acts try to help to employee. And the principles, one of them, the principles are neutral and stable rules. And if we analyze the obligation of cooperation and information, we can see the content of these principles, independence from the quality of the relationship. And I highlight the example in the slide. You can see it. The Amazon use a human resource robot, and the employer give some task of them to this artificial intelligence. Yes, it's from this comes lots of legal and ethical questions, but we haven't enough time to speak about it. But we have to speak about the character of these principles. It's very important the timeline in this principle. We have to speak about pre-contractual and post-contractual section, and the pre-contractual section is more important in this framework because the partners have to share the relevant information each another, and it's independent of the quality of the or the personality of the employer. It's inadequate that the employer is a man or woman, or is a robot or other things. And the principles give stability and security to the partners, The employee is a special position in this relationship. They need this security, and we have to thinking about it in the framework, the flex security, because the new forms of work and the digitalized work are more flexible than classical forms, but give less security than the classical forms. And we have to fit the principles, for example, the obligation of cooperation and informations, to these new forms, but we have to remain the core of these principles, because the core of the principles won't be changed. And the main questions will be every time same questions. And I think if we analyze other principles as well, we can speak same things. And yes, I haven't more time know the other principles as well, but I have written about it in the written form, and I sent this paper to organizer, and I hope you can read it in the text if it's published in a journal or a collected paper. Okay. I thank you for your attention, and I have a nice day.